Let me shift it a little towards this side. Uh, And let's wait for the event. There is the silverfish, and here's the spider. Now, this spider hasn't had any meal since yesterday, so it's been more than yesterday, rather, about 30 hours or so, and this silverfish has been just given it again. Let go for the hunt. It hasn't had a vision yet, so it's only a matter of time when they face each other, and the spider would probably launch an attack. So this is the spider, a Marpissa. It's a jumping spider belonging to the family Salticidae, and there's just one Marpissa reported here in this part of the globe that I am, India, the northern Indian part, the state of Uttarakhand, and this probably is the type specimen, the Marpissa poriensis. I'm at the place called Pori. I've collected a few more of them, but presently I'm just following this fellow. It's in a little box. You can see in a small box, which is just this big. You can see it in my hands. Oh, this seems to be a good orientation as such. Let's try it this way if we get a better view. I'll probably open the lid so as to give some movement possibility, but I'm afraid if I do so, the spider might just escape. No, this silhouette thing isn't good, so let's turn it back in this way. This seems better. Okay, so shall I open the lid? Well, let me do that. Or should I just tap this and let the spider fall? I'll tap it. Sorry. The silverfish seems to have been caught in a little web and is thus not in a much possibility of moving around. The spider is not able to view it properly. It's only, I believe, a matter of time when the spider gets a view of this prey it has, and then it might launch an attack. You see, that's a male spider because the palps, the labial palps, they end in like boxing gloves, a very typical feature of the male jumping spiders. The female specimen that I have had, they have translucent white palps, while these fellows, the males, they have this black dark shade. No, I'm not. No, Hustle. I'm not Aussie, right? But what makes you think so? Merely because I am concerned about some violence here? These spiders are typically small. Typically small. Like you can make out if I give you an illustration of their size. This is the size of the spider. You can uh, scale it with my hand around the box. Hardly 4 or 5, 5 millimeters, I guess. Oh, Hustle. Uh, saw you. No, it won't. These spiders, they don't kill human beings. There are just a few spiders which are venomous enough to cause some disturbance and discomfort to humans. The Sydney funnel web spider. Then we have the brown recluse. Then the wandering spider found in Brazil, and just a few more, some such spiders. The famous black widow. My job, well, I'm a forest officer. I'm a forest officer. Oh, no, no, not yet. I'm a forest officer in India. We have a service here, the Indian Forest Service, just like we have in the United States, the US Fish and Wildlife Service. Similarly, we have this Indian Forest Service. Yeah, it is. It's quite a rewarding career in the middle of nature, surrounded by things that fascinate you. Uh, no, not yet. Okay, let me tap it once more and see if anything happens. Okay, now probably something. They are almost aligned, but the spider is a little confused, I guess. Hustle, I'm from India. I'm an Indian. Uh, well, yes, in a sense. I'm not forcing it to have this, but uh, this spider I've been having with me for the last 4 or 5 days now, and in these 4 or 5 days, I've given it just one good meal. That was a small silver fish. It was half of the size of this one, but just concerned that it might be feeling hungry, hasn't had a meal over the past 2 days or so. So I just happened to come across a silver fish and collected it for this particular spider. But the spider doesn't seem to be much interested in the fish. Apparently, it's seeking freedom, which, of course, is the biggest blessing one can have. Okay, well, the silverfish is kind of trapped in that web. We can't see it, but probably this way it'll become a little more apparent. Let me raise it a little bit. This is an old house. You see this? This. Let me show you around. This is a old house with a little chimney here to keep the house warm, and has roof of wood, and hence a lot of spiders make this place their home. And I have a few more collected over there. You can see those little boxes. Each of those boxes contains some spider here. Let's focus back on the present one. I'm trying to just show you their locations with relation to each other. So here is the jumping spider on the top, while the silverfish is somewhat suspended. You can see that web. It's suspended in the web and hence not in a much better position to move around. And I'm a little skeptical in opening the lid because the spider might escape. And uh, since these spiders are pretty unique, and as I said, there isn't any report of any true Marpissa spiders in India. They are only quite closely related ones. This, I believe, is a Marpissa, which I need to further investigate, and for which I'll need to make some microscopic observations. But then uh, I don't need to kill that. I don't want to kill it. And therefore, I'm quite concerned about its food. And just a second, if you are considering what is this little stain on my fingernail, we have recently had elections for the parliament in India, and this is a sort of a indelible ink which is applied on one's thumb or the forefinger, just for the sake of sort of marking the person that he has casted his vote, his or her vote, so that the possibility of duplicacy is minimized. So this is a sort of a reward. It'll go away with a little time, a few more days, it'll be gone. So nothing to worry about that. It's not any injury or any other reason or any disease. It's just some ink one should be proud of. Yeah, Hassel, the food here in India is quite varied and wonderful and teases the palate of the person feeding upon that. You seem to be quite interested in Indian culture and lifestyle and food and the general Indian traditions. I'm so glad to hear that. Oh, now the spiders might seen it because this silverfish is moving slightly, and the spider you can see is quite alerted. Maybe now it'll launch an attack. Maybe it is interested. I'm not very sure. Oh yeah, Toronto. Canada has a lot of Indians, and of course, you must have had some very authentic food there. Well, the silverfish is slightly wriggling now, and maybe the spider would be interested. These are cute spiders. Okay, I have a device with me. Just hang on. Give me a minute. Yeah, let me show you something unique. This is a magnifying device that I have prepared. It's a sort of an assemblage of a lens with certain plastic bottles cut in appropriate shapes. This perfectly fits snugly on the lens cover of the iPhone, and thereafter, it gives a better magnification of the things that are being observed. Now you can see the spider a little better. The blurriness is because of the plastic between the lens and the spider. You can get a better view of the labial palps, those front black appendages that end in a sort of obtuse structure. Now, the males typically of the jumping spiders have the labial palps ending in club-like, boxing glove-like manner. You can see that, very typical. And this is the ill fated. I'm sorry for this guy, but this is how it was supposed to be. All right, I think I'll just cut down on the streaming for the time being and leave the spider and the ill fated silverfish in the box for the night. And probably in the morning, by the morning, the spider would be through with this little whatever nutrition it has to provide. And before I cut off the streaming, Hostel, I must thank you for indulging in this little conversation. It was quite welcome, and I invite you whenever you are around India to drop me a message so that I can invite you for some very authentic Indian meals at my home. So that's all, folks. I think we'll leave the spider and the silverfish to themselves, and I'll cut down the stream for the time being. Thank you for being with me. Over and out.